Hi guys, Dragon King here. So, extremely happy, extremely satisfied and buzzing. This has to be one of the most hidden gems I've ever had the privilege to play. What an experience. There's so much. There's so much. I'll try and cover the main bits. Why this is a game that needs to be played. I mean, for one, not only does the entire story change and adapt to the choices you make. I mean, literally, whoever's following you, lives or dies, is down to you. But it's not just that. The way the story's designed, you get really attached to certain members of the group. You try your hardest to have them with you all the time. There's a lot of choices you try to make just so you can keep them with you, but there's something that will happen that will mess it up because you can't predict everything that's going to happen, no matter what you choose to do, and it can be quite shocking. There's a lot of things that do take you by surprise just because how much you're trying to save everyone and the choices you're trying to do to protect the ones that you end up caring the most about. And that's the great thing about this. You do literally start caring a lot for the people that are in your team, because how this story is told. It's told so so beautifully and so well. You just feel like even though majority of it you're watching, as we're doing now, you're watching the story go, but it's all shaped from what you're doing. And it's such, even though you're not fully playing it solid, you're watching a lot of it like you are The Walking Dead, but you're the one controlling everything that's really going on, and it's amazing. I've not played a game this crazy. I mean, I'm trying to avoid as much spoilers as I can in this video. This is all my gameplay, well, not all my gameplay, bits and bobs I recorded for this video, but I'll start with Clementine, the little girl you end up looking after. When you feel like, oh my god, you've got to look after someone for the entire game, that you think, same with me, you think, Jesus, this is going to be hassle. You can't be asked. It's always good to just do things solo or with a pro team, like in Final Fantasies or whatever. But Clementine ends up, you end up really doing everything you can to make sure she is priority. You really generally want her to be safe. You really generally want her to be the number one priority in everything, no matter what, to keep her safe and help her out and keep her happy. You really do, excuse me, over the time, start really doing everything you can. Even when you've got to choose between people, you end up having more of affiliation to her because you're her carer and you're looking after her, trying to keep her safe. So that comes over time. At first, it's just a normal thing, but then over time you just start really trying to save her life as she ends up saving yours, depending on how the story is told from your actions, which is amazing. It's really good. I mean, the artwork itself, I didn't like it to start off with, the weird cartoony graphics or however it looks, but I think it really damn well helped tell the story. It suits it perfectly. Your main protagonist, Lee, he sounds great. The voice acting's amazing. It's really immersive. It stands out as a proper leader. I'm gonna avoid as much spoilers as I can because there's some crazy stuff that happens later on, and it really took me by surprise because I didn't know what was going to happen in this story. But the way the characters are, the voice actors, everything is really damn good. The artwork suits it perfectly, and it just sets a whole tone, atmosphere. The story is very well, it progresses so damn well to some unexpected twists and turns. but you always feel like you're semi in control. But you always have a knock-on effect with things. You know, if you're trying to stick up for someone, the person who is having a go will remember things, and when they remember it later on, they'll use that why they can't help you, because you refuse to help them because you prefer to help someone else. They'll actually use that against you. So everything ends up having a knock-on effect in the long run, and it's so cool.
It's all right.
I don't know that I'm gonna avoid as much as I can from the last episode on episode 5. But Jesus Christ, it's a story that needs to be played through. If you enjoyed watching The Walking Dead, this will drag you straight into it. This will pull you by the... Excuse me. Halfway through the first episode, you'll start to see the beauty of it all unravel, and oh my god! At the end of the second episode, the crazy stuff that happens there is unbelievable. You know, it is absolutely nuts, the stuff that happens on the second episode. I mean, the episode they last a good while. You know, this game's pretty long. I don't know how long it is exactly, because I kept leaving my Steam on pause and my game on pause whilst I was going to work. But you're probably about 8 hours long, 8 to 10 hours long, depending on how quick you progress through things. But it's a good, it's a solid ride. There's no low bits, boring bits. It's a really immersive, interesting story. You generally want to know what's going on. You want to know what's going to happen next. You want to know where you're going next, and you want to see who's going to join your team, or how you're going to save your team, or who you're going to lose, because no matter what you do,
what the hell are you doing?
You'll never keep the people you want. And there was one point, I don't want to ruin it, but in fact my first choice was, I can tell you about this, it's not so much because it's on the first episode, so it's not much of a spoiler. But my first real choice of seeing how nuts the game was I had a choice between this electrician guy and a woman with a handgun, and I literally had like 5 seconds to choose who to save. And I thought, I'm going to save the woman with the gun, because the gun's quite handy. So I went to save that woman with the gun. I mean, the whole game could have been different if I chose the other guy and let the girl die. But I chose the woman with the gun. And the other dude died, got ripped apart by other zombies. And there's a point later on, I try my hardest to save her. And I'm pretty sure I would have saved her if I chose other things to say, but I chose the wrong things to say, and she ended up dying, despite how much I didn't want that. And I was honestly shocked, because I was like, Jesus, this is not what I expected. And it was brilliant, because you can't predict what's going to happen. You can't predict what you're going to say to how someone's going to react. And these are the way these characters are designed. The emotions and the movements and everything. It is really lifelike. They fit people spot on to what kind of crisis this actually is. There's a great sense of survival, but fear of everything that's going on. They try their hardest to save each other, and they try their hardest to keep the group together, despite arguments that come about inevitably, because there's a lot of emotional things that go on. I don't want to go into that, because I don't want to ruin things, but there's some horrible things that happen to some people that you can fully understand why they break down completely, and there's a lot of times you really feel sorry for the guy or the girl, because of what they've just been through or seen, and they shouldn't have seen, and you're like, wow. And you can understand why the big arguments come, but you try your hardest to keep the group together, and it's a whole amazing immersive experience. I mean, I cannot wait to play season 2. Because season 1, I mean, I got this ages ago on a Steam sale. I just had it. I didn't have much interest in playing it properly, because I wasn't too sure. But I thought I'll give it a go. I heard on Machinima or something that it was a hidden gem, or something to do with that, and basically as soon as I started playing the first episode, probably about 20 minutes, 30 minutes into it, I was like, this is a hell of a game. I realised on my first impressions video that this is going to be a game like no other. This has some amazing things that go onto it. So, yeah, it's just a game you need to play. I can't explain it enough. I've played thousands of games and I've not played one like this. Such a different zombie survival horror game. To the next level. It's not obviously scary, but it's a real, true feel of a world taken over by zombies and a constant need to be on the run to get to somewhere safe for the greater good, because of certain circumstances that even if they're happy in somewhere, something will always go bad, meaning they need to move on and try and find somewhere else. But as the story goes, it's very hard to find somewhere safe where you can be happy when the whole world is covered in zombies, death, raiders, murderers, and everyone trying to look out for themselves. So it's very, very well done how it portrays all that to a solid first game. I do not think they could have possibly made this game any more spot on for season 1. It is done extremely well, and I've no doubt at all that the season 2 will be just as immersive. Lee, the protagonist, he is absolutely spot on. That guy, he's got a great attitude. He cares so much about Clementine. You could tell by his voice how he acts about everything, how you're able to protect her no matter what people are trying to do. You do what you can and the best you can to keep her safe. But that's my review of this game. Is absolutely top notch, and I wouldn't recommend anything else but to play it. Get it on Steam, start playing it for the night, and you'll quickly realise, wow, this is a hell of an experience. I'm going to absolutely love it. Even if you haven't seen The Walking Dead, it doesn't follow that story. You follow a different story, because obviously everyone has their own story in this kind of world. But definitely well worth the price on Steam. I mean, it's quite cheap on Steam now. Even season 2 is only like 18 quid. So this season 1, it'd probably be like tenner at the moment. I mean, I got it on Steam sale for like 4 quid. But I give it I give it 8.5 out of 10, maybe even 9. It's just what an absolutely brilliant ride. But probably about 8.5. So that's my review of the game. I can't even find anything bad in it. It was absolutely flawless how it all worked and ran. The music, sounds, visuals, it all works in its favour. The surprises and brilliant stuff. But that's definitely my entire review of it. So hopefully you enjoyed that. Please give me a like, subscribe, and look forward to Castlevania 2, which I'll be putting the first impressions up later today, and I'll be doing an entire walkthrough of that. I'll just record myself doing the entire game, and I'll just put up each video of each level as we go. Alright, so thank you very, very much. Very happy I played this game. So I'll let you watch this last little bit, because this is also a point of one of the choices. Right? I think I'll cut it out, but it's a very interesting little bit. So here's a prime example. There is a little talking. Ben feels very guilty for something that he's done, and he wants you to drop him, but you got to make the choice if you pull him up or drop him. So that's another. This is just for things he's done. You may want to, but hey, maybe not.